Fuck it, going loud. Hey guys, Sauce here with Horse. We're going to do a quick little preview of Conan Exiles getting released on the 31st of January 2017. Just break down a couple things we like about it, maybe some things that we're a little hesitant about, kind of give you an idea of what you might be getting into if you do decide to purchase this game. Conan Exiles is intended to be this brutal open world survival game. It runs on the Unreal 4 engine, combining the tried and true features of the genre with some lore and grime of Conan. It really looks to stake its own claim stake its own claim with an installment here. Now, the thing that really stands out to me is again, the brutality of it and the bloodiness of it. I love that. I'm a huge PvPer. I like to fight. If you watch my streams, you're well aware of that. And so the fact that I can cut somebody's head off is pretty fucking cool. The combat is more of a strategic melee combat, something that Horse coined a little bit ago. I really like that approach because it's not properly a combo-based system, but at the same time you can combine different things to try to fight enemies with. Forward strikes, backhands, swords, shields, spears, all that kind of stuff really makes for an interesting combat versus your traditional just, slam the button as fast as you fucking can to try to kill somebody. So I can appreciate when a company incorporates more than just your vanilla system into place. But what's some of the things you've noticed, Worth, that you really like about it?
The aesthetics. Oh man, they get right up in your face and they really make you feel immersed in the world of how brutal it is. Namely, the finishers. Gotta love them. Like you said, cutting somebody's head off is fantastic feeling. And even when you're getting into like some of the beasts and stuff, just the way they move and the quality behind their models really makes you feel like you're one-on-one with this dangerous threat.
No, I completely agree with you there. I mean, a huge immersion breaking thing for me is something that I have an issue with Bethesda is when like the models fuck up or some kind of random bug that you really feel like should have been caught before the game was released. And obviously this being early access, we're going to see a number of them, but as long as it's not too overbearing, you can still enjoy an early access game. And it looks like they're really staging to release something here that could be very much on par with something like Ark when it released, where it had obviously a monumental amount of success, and I'm not implying it'll have that success, but the quality of game that they release, I think, could be very much on par with what Ark released when it first came out.
Well, I definitely agree with you. I mean, it's got the potential. There's also a lot of room for expansion that they've left themselves, and I think that was intentional. They've really got a good base, and where they build from here is really gonna dictate their success, I feel.
Now, one thing that I do like that they're doing, that they're adding into this, is going to be custom servers. I don't feel like enough games really do that across all the platforms. Obviously, it's nasty with it on PC. I doubt they release custom servers for this to console, just because traditionally that does not happen with most games like this. But the fact you can get into there and have your own custom server, something like Ark, something like 7 Days, is amazing because you can create your own experience that other people might enjoy versus something that only the devs think would be enjoyable and doesn't really speak to everybody. And not only that, the tools they make available to you are amazing. Probably the best I've ever seen. I can't think of anything that even comes close. Ark maybe, because they do have an admin GUI, whatever, inside the game, but it's extremely limiting. It uses a lot of technical terms that are not user-friendly unless you really know the ins and outs of the system. Whereas this one has a much better feel to it. You understand what you're clicking on, what it's going to do. The only issue that could possibly come up is if it's not responsive, which I have had issues with ARCs being like that. But again, because of the terminology in it, it makes it a little bit confusing sometimes to know exactly what you're doing. Another thing I'm really excited for is the gods. And we just seen in the video just a few moments ago is one of the gods stepping through and absolutely obliterating a camp. That's something that could be very good and very bad. Obviously, on a custom server, you can disable those if that's not an experience you want to have to deal with. But at the same time, those kind of things require a monumental undertaking to even be able to summon them, and they're relatively easy to stop at the same time. There's some kind of white beam of light that comes up off of them straight up into the air that you'll be able to see from, imagine, a good distance. And if that person's not being protected, they could probably be easily killed with somebody with a good bow. Someone gets right up there with a sword, and all of a sudden, boom, the avatar is gone, and it's no longer an issue. A
And
horse,
that's when your enemies
yeah,
cry.
yeah, exactly. But you do have the standard, type of base rating you normally see as far as breaking down walls and getting in and taking things, causing all kinds of havoc and stuff like that. And horse, I mean, obviously the building system to me seems more Rust-esque than anything else, which I'm not a huge fan of Rust myself. However, I do like the snap system. It's very, very simple and easy to pick up. Doesn't require a whole lot of imagination.
Well,
And
now that you brought up the snap system, this seems like the best snap system I have seen so far. It got all sorts of like smaller pieces. The triangle pieces that they've got actually allow you to make circular structures. They allow you to place foundations into cliff sides so that you can actually have nice cliffside buildings. You could quarantine yourself off from the lower reaches of the world and have that extra sense of security. This is going to allow for so many different uh, um, shapes of building that you wouldn't normally get in something like Rust or Ark. And I'm excited to see what the community at large does with it, because absolutely everybody knows that I am not one for extreme artistic vision, but other people are, and it's gonna be neat.
now, obviously, with those buildings, you're going to need people to populate them. Now, they obviously, as far as I can tell, and I don't have a whole lot of information on it right now, I did do some research on this game before we even started this. I'm assuming they have some kind of clan, tribe, guild system in place. How fleshed out that is, I mean, they haven't really shown that too much, have they? That I've seen, at least.
Not a whole lot, no.
All right, but other than that, you can also have things called thralls. But what they're going to have is where you can go capture somebody, drag them back to your base, put them on some little wheel thing they push until you break their spirit, and all of a sudden then they serve you. Allows for you to have warriors, blacksmiths, priests, a number of different just kind of vocational skills these people have apparently, which is pretty fun. I don't have a huge issue with just building a monumental army. My concern is how many thralls can you have? Is there a limit? Should there be a limit? I don't
Well,
know.
there's a soft cap.
Is there? Okay, see, I
Because
wasn't sure.
yeah, so you essentially you can have as many as you can support. So you need to feed them all with gruel, essentially. And I think they've got their own mechanic of corruption. So like if you don't have enough dancers or whatever, then corruption ends up setting in on you and your thralls. So essentially, you can have as many as you can maintain.
So it won't be something that, obviously the large Zergy groups are going to be ones that always dominate a server no matter what. So they could obviously have an entire army. Have they really given enough details as far as how much control you're going to have over these thralls, or is it still waiting until release to find out?
From what I've seen so far, it seems like you can assign them a job and they'll do that job. Like you can't like tell a whole bunch of thralls to follow you and fight behind you as an army. You can tell them to guard your base, but that's about it.
Hopefully that's something the modding community can pick up, because I think that'd be a really fun feature where you could have like 13 guys just walking around behind you, and you just go storm someone's base with a bunch of NPCs. Obviously, they wouldn't be as smart and as reactive as humans, but it still would allow for someone that is more of a solo player to kind of jump into this kind of thing.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you on that. I mean, the solo aspect of this game does kind of worry me a little bit. It doesn't seem to be too friendly to the average solo player, but the use of thralls and things to defend your homestead makes it a bit easier. Although it will take more time for you to get there.
That's basically going to be it, guys. Again, we're going to be playing this, live streaming this, recording videos of any kind of raids and stuff, which I'm really excited about, and putting those on the channel, so keep an eye out for that. Again, I am Awesome Sauce. This is my Canadian compatriot, Horse. And go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Any questions you might have, go ahead and feel free to discuss. Anything we brought up, maybe you want it more fleshed out, or if you have a difference of opinion, if you have more facts than we do, feel free to let us know. And you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one.